Wow.
Ooh, what is going on, guys? Dizzy Dan here. Welcome back into the channel. I am very sorry. I was on Disney business. I was just watching Aladdin, and I got home very late. But we had an amazing time. Aladdin was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it, and I am super excited to bring you episode 53 of Disney Fiasco. Can I just say, I want to say thank you to every single one of you who joined us last week. I think last week was one of the best days of my YouTube career. I'm having everybody here to celebrate my 1 year anniversary. But it's just amazing. I just want to say thank you so much. And also, we are 10 subscribers away from 1,300. So let's keep it going. We're going to have a great time tonight. Some amazing special guests, but let's see who's in the chat. We got Captain Akron, Donna Jaworski. Donna and I had a great chat today. It was awesome. My partner channel, RobFuz, welcome in, buddy. Nicole C, welcome in. Dougie Disney, Mitch is here. Welcome in, Disney Mitch. Good to see you, pal. LSU Mom, Miguel Benitez, what's up, pal? Samantha Lowe, Donna Anderson Folan is here. The Shep family. Nick from Magical News Live is here. Welcome in, pal. Lisa M is here. Welcome in. John P. Hazelton, Kate Atwood. Welcome in, everybody. I apologize for being late. I'm so sorry. I hope you forgive me. I'm normally late, but I was watching Aladdin and I really enjoyed it. So maybe I'll do a review and I hope you guys can check it out later in the week. Courtney Rainwater's welcome in, but first, I've got two very special guests here. Two, not guests, friends. Two friends here. I want to kick things off with my pal Steve from Steve's World. Firstly, before you say anything, Steve, congratulations, pal, on 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, well, thank you very much, buddy.
This week was a massive week for you, and you smashed it out of the park. There we go. There's a sports reference, which we'll talk about in a sec. You see what happened there?
Yeah. And he hit a home run.
He hit a home run, and Steve, dude, just to see where you are now, it's amazing, pal. So congratulations and welcome into Disney Fiasco episode 53.
Thank you so much, buddy. I mean, I couldn't do it without people like you guys and a lot of people in the chat. I've gotten a lot of help from a lot of different people, and I owe everything to people like you guys. So thank you so much.
You're absolutely welcome. And my partner channel, well, one of my amazing partner channels is here. My good buddy Walt from Mouse Talk. Dude, it's been, Sunday was awesome. Our Star Wars Sunday was amazing. Talking about Solo, a Star Wars story with Jeff from Dole Whip Dad, and Galaxy's Edge is getting ever so closer. But it's great to have my partner channel here. So go check out Walt from Mouse Talk. Great to see you, bud.
Thank you very much for having me in. I'm honored as usual. It means a lot. Definitely going to have a great time tonight. Yes, congrats to Steve on 1,000. And Dan, you're close to 1,300. And we just passed 1,400. Thanks to all of you fine folks who have been trying to get me on Tower of Terror. Thank you.
You will be on Tower of Terror, my friend. You will be, because
I don't know. We're not there yet. I'll see it when it happens. I'll unsubscribe if I have to.
Don't worry. We have a backup B plan. We're plan B for kidnapping you, so it's okay.
Gelly's Journey is here. Welcome in. Is it Gelly or Jelly? I never normally know, but I'm going to say Gelly's Journey. Welcome in. AJC Magic TV. Welcome in. Jack Sandy Claus Logan. Sherry from Awesome Sunset Travel. She did an amazing stream today. Go check it out. But hello, everybody. It's so good to see everybody here in the stream. We are going to have an amazing time tonight. We are going to walk the promenade. We are going to walk our way around World Showcase. And before we get to that, just a reminder, straight after this, join Walt and Steve for Sports Night. It'll be slightly later than usual because of me. I'm sorry. It will be at 8:30.
Yes, 8:30.
8:30 EST. You know what to do. You know where to be. And what is the topic today, guys?
It's going to be a controversial one. We're going to talk ethnic mascots in sports, right, Steve?
Yeah. Whether or not we should allow mascots to be towards ethnic groups.
Yep. So it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a controversial one.
Very interesting. I'm looking forward to it. And My good buddy R. Johns is here. Welcome in, buddy. Great to see you. R. Johns is getting closer and closer to 1,000, which means a stream. And Chris from Disney World Adventures is here as well. So let's get on to the World Showcase. We are going to spend our whole day, our whole stream in Epcot. Now, for me, I always start over on the right-hand side because I've always had a fondness of going right rather than going left. I don't know why, but I always head to Canada first. So we're going to start off in Canada and work our way around to Mexico. And we're going to talk about each pavilion. We're going to have a great time. And we're going to talk about what we like and dislike about all the different pavilions. So, So please chime in the chat what you like or dislike about each pavilion. And because we're doing this because it's coming to the end of Flower and Garden. We love Flower and Garden and the beautiful troperies and the amazing food. Yes, it's only took us, 7 minutes to talk about food. But we are going to be talking about the Epcot World Showcase today. So, Canada. Oh, Canada. If there's anyone from Canada here, where's Cargo when you need her? Canada is Canada's a very underrated pavilion. Not a lot of people. I feel like when people say, what is your favorite pavilion at World Showcase? I feel like not a lot of people say Canada, which is a shame because it's a beautiful pavilion. And there's so much great stuff. Firstly, Le Cellier. Let's just get right to it. Le Cellier, the food. I mean, that's one of the best restaurants, not just in Epcot, but I think in the whole of Walt Disney World, in my opinion. The steak is just wow. It's great. And I feel like, look, I've never been to Canada, but I do get that sort of, Northern Canadian feel with the tiki poles and the beautiful scenery right at the back of the pavilion with the whole waterfall. I think it's beautiful back there. And I feel like not a lot of people go there, which is a shame. So let's talk about Canada for a little bit. And Steve, what are your first impressions with the Canada Pavilion?
Well, I always go left to right because the right side from America to Canada is my favorite side. So I always save my favorites for last, and Canada is one of my favorites. But when you walk in and you see that Le Cellier, the big, huge building and that flower garden off to your right, that's when you know you walked from Future World and now you're entering a different land, and it makes you feel like you're actually there with true Canadian decor and theming. But there's really two parts to the Canadian Pavilion. One is going down that garden to see O Canada, the Kid Cot entrance, and then Le Cellier, which, but to me, is the best restaurant on Disney property. I agree with you 100%. Yeah. And then you go to the other side, which when you come back up the ramp, you go to all the shopping, you climb the stairs by the totem poles, and everything is just themed so well. They have one of my favorite things is the glass art that's in there. That they make the ornaments out of. So they just got a lot of nice decorated merchandise there, and the whole theming for the whole pavilion is pretty well done.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with that. And you're right in the way that it's split into kind of two parts. Walt, what do you think, buddy?
Well, first and foremost, I agree with you. It's funny. When we go to World Showcase, we always go to the right. We're trying to learn to do like Steve does and go left first. We tend to go counterclockwise. Not sure why, but we do. But I'm going to play devil's advocate when it comes to Canada Pavilion, because I think Canada, the word I always use there is potential, and it's missed potential for me. I'll tell you why. First off, I totally agree. Le Cellier is my favorite place to eat. Hands down. The steak is unbelievable. It stands on its own, just the steak. We're not even talking about the rest of the food, which is phenomenal as well. Great restaurant. I think the Canada Pavilion is beautiful. I agree. It's a hidden gem, the waterfall in the back there, and not many people see it, which is a shame. It's a great photo op. But my problem I have with Canada Pavilion is when you go up the steps, there's a lot of open area right there where I think could be filled with more shops. Those two, what do you want to call them, buildings are empty. You don't go in those at all. That could be, I think that's missed opportunity there for other things. It's just wasted space, in my opinion. I wish they would do a little bit more with the Canada Pavilion because I love the stores, and O Canada is really cool as well. I just think that there could be more to that pavilion. It's one of my, You call it underrated. For me, it's one of my least favorite of all of them. I just wish there was more to it.
Yeah, I think it's a bit. I feel like it's underrated, but as well, again, potential. There should be. It's tricky because a lot of these pavilions around the World Showcase have characters or rides or something along those lines, whereas Canada doesn't really have anything. It has the O Canada show, which I am ashamed to say I've never seen. I know people can I don't know. I've never seen the show.
I've actually only seen it once, so
yeah, I just feel like you're right, Walt. There should be something else there. There needs to be some sort of. It needs like a bit of oomph, doesn't it? Now it has. There has a like a show, like a stage where they were like lumberjack men who were carving these massive tree blocks. Do you remember those guys? I don't know if they.
I remember when Off Kilter used to be over there.
Off
Kilter over there for a while, but they didn't re-sign them. And yes, they had those lumberjack guys that were throwing the axes, I think, or something for a while there. They tend to change out the axe a little bit here and there. I don't know.
They're on a quartet singing group right now, and I can't remember what their names are. But the lumberjacks, I believe, are gone.
Okay.
At least last time I went, they were gone. And there's a group of 4 singers. There's a girl and 3 guys, and they're actually pretty good.
Yes, they are. Off Kilter was there for years.
Yeah.
And years until they just ended their contract, which was too bad.
Yeah. Just very quickly, I want to thank Dougie for the PayPal. Dougie with a £10 PayPal. £10 PayPal. That should be a thing.
£10 PayPal.
Thank you so much.
Like
there should be or like a thing that comes on the screen. But thank you.
That could be a Canada Pavilion group. There you go.
Thank you so much, Dougie. I really appreciate it. You're the man, and I really, really do appreciate it. Well, Canada, a very overlooked, and not our favorite, but I feel like there is something more hopefully to come with that pavilion. Now, the reason why I wanted to start with Canada, then start with Mexico, is because, well, the next one apart from Canada is right here. It's the UK. It's the UK Pavilion. Let's be honest, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the UK. No, I'm kidding. I'll be fair, but
it's your stream. We'll do whatever you want, man.
I'll also be fair, saying that the UK is the best pavilion. Not being biased. No, I kid. Look, I think it's very weird when you go to Epcot coming from a different country, especially a country that has been represented in the World Showcase. Because Epcot is in the United States instead of Florida, and you see the American Pavilion, which we'll get to. I feel like because it's in America, it's very Americanized. Whereas I feel like America and the Disney company did their best in trying to capture what the UK is. Not every single house or building looks like the castle next opposite the Rose and Crown. Not every house looks like the tea caddy. There's a lot of major differences, but there are actually a lot of similarities, which is great, especially at the back of the pavilion. A lot of those kind of facades right there look like houses in London. It's true. And the Rose and Crown pub, I've got to say, this is going to sound really weird, not only looks like a pub in the UK, but it smells like a pub in the UK. Now, when you walk into the Rose and Crown pub, there is that certain beery, whiskey kind of smell, and the smell of like patched leather. There is that kind of weird smell that comes into a pub, and you get that in the Rose and Crown, and I think it's great. There are a lot of similarities there than there are here, but there are a lot of differences as well.
You think that's a pumped-in smell?
I feel like the furniture that they brought into the Rose and Crown I think it just has its own natural smell because you can go to any pub here in the UK and it's always the same smell, and it's the smell that's in the in the Rose and Crown pub. So I feel like it's not a smell they pumped in. It's just a natural furniture smell, I guess. It's just weird. But the UK is great. They have the maze, which I think people really forget that's there. It's the maze at the back of the pavilion.
Yeah.
There's the band, which is amazing. The band plays all these American tunes from Queen to the Beatles to just all these really rock and roll bands. It's great. I love it. And you get to meet Alice and Mary Poppins. And let me just say something. Rose and Crown Pub for food. Like, there we go. We're done. End the stream. Thank you for watching. Rose and Crown Pub. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Sports night after this. I kid. Rose and Crown is a really wonderful restaurant. I think it's very authentic. The fish and chips are surprisingly good. I think they are not too bad. They're not anything like you get here, but for Disney to come over here, I think they did a great job. And I want to, give a big shout out to all my cast member friends who are working out there. So if you're watching, like Gabby and Helen and Bethany, all those people who sometimes watch my channel, there's a shout out for you guys. Probably not going to watch it, but it's okay. Let's just see who's in the chat before we come to you guys about the UK Pavilion. It's nice after all those fries to get something resembling proper chips. Exactly, Dougie. Pamela Hoffman, welcome into the stream. Great to see you. Gelly's Journey. Well, guys, I've got to head out. Got to get ready to go out for dinner. You got to tell me what you're having for dinner before you leave. Hopefully, you'll still be here when I'm done. Well, it's great to see you, Gelly's Journey. Thank you so much. Dan never saw the Canada movie because he's always busy eating at the Rose and Crown. That is very true, Rob. But yeah, so Steve, the UK Pavilion, and if you don't like it, you're not going to hurt my feelings.
No, I actually like I like most of them. They're pretty incredible, but I do think the United Kingdom suffers from what Walt was talking about with Canada, and that is there is no attraction there yet. And I do think that the plan will be to add an attraction to each country, like they're doing with France, and they're repurposing some of those buildings. But some of those buildings house the all the supplies and the workers, cast members' quarters for those lands too. So not all the buildings are operational because they house those things. But what I do like about all the countries, especially Britain or the United Kingdom, I'm sorry.
Same thing, don't worry.
I read that they actually, for each country, they flew in architects and engineers from each country to assist with the buildings, to assist with everything, which I'm glad you gave your opinion on those buildings because otherwise I wouldn't know. But I like walking through there and seeing the decor. I like seeing the old style, or what I would consider old style telephone booth. Winnie the Pooh is back in there, and Christopher Robin's bedroom in the back. You've got, like you said, the British Revolution is back there. The one thing I am disappointed to say is I have never eaten at the Rose and Crown pub. I'm sorry, Dan. We'll fix it. We'll fix it in August, man. We're going to fix a lot in August. But it does smell authentic, though, from what I would assume would be authentic. It doesn't smell like America, I guess is what I'm saying.
No.
So, but no, overall, it's a really beautiful country pavilion. And I love the architecture, the way it's done. And it's probably one of the better spots for me to watch Illuminations, too. So,
Steve, I've got to introduce you to a Scotch egg. Now, I know you're not I know you're a bit of a picky eater.
I am.
But it is well, you may like this as well. Do you like egg?
I don't like eggs.
Oh,
I do like eggs.
Okay, well, listen to me. It's like a hard-boiled egg wrapped in like sausage meat, and it's fried.
Yeah, I don't like hard-boiled eggs, but I do like eggs.
But like it's massive sausage meat with like an egg in the middle, and it's like fried.
I'm not saying. Maybe I've just been sheltered around the wrong people all my life too. But we will. Maybe my pickiness will go away as we experiment.
It's a small egg, sausage fried.
Wow.
I mean, come on! Like it's like a breakfast in like a fried ball. It's amazing. Walt, what do you think of the UK Pavilion?
Okay, so let's talk about the UK Pavilion for me. It is one of my favorite pavilions, and I'm not just saying that. It really, really is one of my favorites. Steve kind of stole a lot of my thunder. He's exactly right. You have that little room in the back that used to be a meet and greet for Winnie the Pooh. It's supposed to be Christopher Robin's room. It's still there. I wish they used it for something. It's always closed. I wish they would use it, but it is there. You can look in there. That's really cool. The British Revolution's in the back. Steve's right. I've listened to them. They're really, really good. They're really good. At least I think they are. You're right. You have the little maze back there, the little garden area. Back in the day during Easter, and they may even still do this, they used to have Easter egg hunts in that maze.
Yep.
Because when my kids were little, we did it a couple times because we went down for the holidays, Easter holiday, and they would have Easter egg hunts in there. So that was really cool too. But I know I know it's not the fish and chips you're used to, Dan, but I really like Yorkshire County, their fish and chips. For me, it's actually one of my favorite quick services in all of Epcot. We really enjoy it. I love the fries, chips, what have you. I thought the fish, and I'm not even a real fish eater, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I haven't tried Rosencrown either.
Yes, I'm not alone.
Oh boy, I think we're gonna have to.
We're a bit of a fixer-upper. Can you tell?
We're gonna have to leave Sanaa and then head over after bread service and our meal to go over to Rosencrown. We're gonna put on a couple of pounds that night. Let me tell you.
But I do. I love the UK Pavilion. I love the stores. I love how the one store has like Doctor Who and Sherlock merchandise that they kind of feed in there a little bit too. I think it's a really cool pavilion. You can meet Alice in Wonderland, Mary Poppins. Even sometimes you can meet the Queen of Hearts. At least you used to be able to meet her there.
Yeah, so that was a really long time ago. Really long time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Yep.
Just Dougie's heading out. Thank you so much for watching, Dougie, and thank you so much for the PayPal. I really do appreciate it. So thank you to Dougie. Please say goodbye to Dougie, who's in the chat.
Goodbye to Dougie,
up in Scotland. As Dougie is leaving us, a member of the UK, we're going to leave the UK in Epcot and head over the channel to France or France. I love how Americans say France because you
maybe we're saying it right.
I would venture to bet we're not. So.
Yeah, France.
Well, it depends on your point of view.
you know what's really weird, guys? Look, I used to work in the United States, and I used to, live out there for quite a while. And it's really funny. I come back to the UK, and everyone tells me that I've picked up a slight American accent. Like all ends of sentences go up. I always like say bathroom instead of saying the toilet. Like I need to go to the bathroom or the restroom. I don't know what you guys have done to me, but it seems I'm slowly turning into an American. Yes. Which I'm not complaining because I do love America. But
here's the thing. I look at it like this. I use the word chance. ANCE. France, chance. Right?
So Don't get me started on how you guys say herbs.
Herbs?
Yes, because if it's not
H is silent.
So if it's not a him, is it an like him and her? No, you say
him and her. Him and her.
Yeah, getting off topic. The France Pavilion. The France Pavilion. I think, actually, back in the day, I really didn't like the France Pavilion. I didn't spend a lot of time there. And I sort of look, it was between the UK and another country we were going to get to. And I always kind of avoided it. And I don't really know why. There's something about it. And if I'm honest, the people here in the UK and us in France, although we're kind of neighbors, there's kind of like, we don't really care about each other. I don't know. It's really weird. So I normally kind of avoid France, but over the last couple of years, I've really started to enjoy this. Now, hopefully Corey Fiasco is not here because I've never seen Impressions to France, and I know he loves that. I need to go see that show. And, I think it's underrated, but I think it's really great. Firstly, the food is amazing. Les Halles, the bakery, wow. I was so impressed when I ate there last year. That was phenomenal. They also have the chair guy. You know, he stacks up all those chairs
Yep.
and he flips.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I think that's very impressive. The only thing is, I wish he could only blow the whistle once, because that drives me crazy. Every time he blows it, every like 5 seconds, it drives. You can hear it on the other side of the World Showcase.
Dan wants to kick the chairs out.
Honestly, he's standing on the chairs and he's blowing this whistle. I'm just like, shut up! It does annoy me a little bit, but I don't know. And you can also meet Belle and you can meet Aurora, which I think is great. I think there's 2 princesses there in a small, area. I think it's pretty cool. And what I really liked was over by the Chef de France restaurant. They used to have the waiters used to bring round the food, and they would open a little cloche, and there would stand Remy from Ratatouille. Unfortunately, they got rid of that because I think people assumed that, okay, why is this chef serving us a rat? And a small animatronic rat? Because it was an animatronic, which I think is pretty cool. But they got rid of that. And, I think France is great for the food. But again, for me, it was never really my favorite. I always kind of avoided it unless I was going to eat a croissant or something like that. So that's my opinion. Steve?
So yeah, France has always been the country that I overlooked the most on purpose, but it's starting to grow on me. Like you said, I can't remember that. I pronounce everything in this country incorrectly, just so you know. But I think it's that. Is it Serveur Armusant or whatever? The guy with the chairs is incredible.
I don't know. I just called him Chair Guy.
Okay, I can sit there and watch him all day long, and I'm glad you pronounced that bakery, because that is not what was going to come out of my mouth. It was something completely different. But that bakery is amazing. Outside of that, though, I'm not a French cuisine guy, and I don't like a lot of that. But I do like going to look at it, because it is an incredibly beautiful setup back there. That fountain that they have at the beginning on the what I would consider the right side, if you're looking at it, is obviously a picture spot with the Eiffel Tower behind you in the background. It's just an incredible part of the whole entire pavilion. And then to get back where they have, it's just the Perfume Place. I don't know what else it is, but you can go back there towards that one of those restaurants, and it just smells kind of nice back there, like florally and. But sometimes it can also be overpowering. So just depends on what time, what time of the day or whatever it is you get there. But it's overall, it's growing on me there. Of course, they got the Ratatouille ride coming, and there's also going to be a Beauty and the Beast sing along coming as well. So it's going to be a pretty nice pavilion to start visiting.
I was just going to say, I've got 3 words for you. Ratatouille, the ride.
Yes.
It's like rat and patootie. That's one of my favorite rides from Walt, from Ratatouille. Walt, what do you think of the France Pavilion?
Well, the France Pavilion, to me, is one of the ones I tend to agree, and I hate to say this, but it's one of the ones I overlook a lot early on. We're getting to know it more. We're starting to learn to have a more appreciation for it. I agree the bakery is fantastic. We always go, first time in Epcot, we go first thing in the morning, right over to the bakery before even the World Showcase is open as a whole. We have breakfast over there. We take our breakfast down by the water, and it's such a peaceful, great time. I love the bakery. Also, we didn't mention they have the ice cream parlor over there where you can get 16 different flavors of ice cream, which are really, really good. That ice cream is really good over there, and they have tons of different flavors. Of course, they have Impressions de France. You can meet the 2 princesses, like you said. You have Belle or Aurora over there, which is great, because usually Sleeping Beauty is one of the harder princesses to see. So I'm glad you can get her there. Ratatouille's coming. Sing-along's coming. This is growing on me as a place to go, but I've never eaten at one of the table service. Monsieur Paul or Chefs de France, we have not eaten at either one of them. It's certainly not one of my favorite pavilions, but it's a pavilion where learning to know more. I'll put it to you that way.
Let me tell you something. The Ratatouille ride, that's going to be... I've ridden it in Disneyland Paris. When it comes here to stateside, I'm telling you, it's.
Well, I've seen it.
Let me tell you something. Galaxy's Edge is going to be a thing of the past.
Wow.
I think I can't wait for it. I'm so excited for it. I agree.
I just got to say a big welcome to Cargo. Now, Cargo, we just missed Canada. You should have been here like 5 minutes earlier. We were talking about Canada and we were saying about how amazing Canada is. So, but welcome, Cargo, into the stream. Great to see you, my friend. Awesome. So France, I think France was overlooked and it's slowly going up the order. And as soon as Ratatouille opens,
It'll help.
Oh, it will be up there. Trust me. Now, the next pavilion I would say is my third favorite. And yes, I've ranked most of these in my list. I love Morocco. I think Morocco is one of the most unique, brilliantly, beautifully designed pavilion. I think it's simple, authentic, and it just there's that kind of you come into the sort of marketplace and you get those spice smells, you get those aromats, you get those just amazing kind of like, I don't know, incense that come through the market, the store. Look, in terms of Morocco and the spectacle and being immersed, I think they do that very well because you come to all these different pavilions and it's normally on the left or on the right or however you walk in. With Morocco, it's both the left and the right, like it's everywhere, and I feel like they've done that pretty well. That's what it's like when you go to a place like Morocco or somewhere in the Middle East. It's really beautiful, and I think just the way they brought in the I think it was the King of Morocco's chef who does the food for Restaurant Marrakesh, and they had the design group went over to Morocco and literally copied it from they literally copied it. They literally designed the whole spectacle of Morocco and plonked it in the middle of Florida, and I think it is stunning. I think the food is, yes, it might be a little bit adventurous, but I think it's not as adventurous as you might think. I think when people think Morocco, they think spicy. I think it's more aromats. I think it's more, there is some sort of spice, but spice in terms of flavor, not in terms of heatness. And I think Restaurant Marrakesh is a super underrated restaurant. You can always just walk up there and have a great meal. Tangerine Cafe is in my top 3 favorites quick service restaurants in the whole of Disney. And Spice Road Table, if you want a seat for Illuminations, go to Spice Road Table. You get to sit on the water and you can watch water. You can sit and watch Illuminations and have an amazing time. You can meet Aladdin and Jasmine. I mean, come on, where else can you meet Aladdin and Jasmine? And there's a beautiful fountain in the middle of the pavilion. So Morocco, for me, one of my absolute favorites. Juan Rodriguez, welcome into the stream, buddy. And Dakina, welcome in as well. Steve, what about Morocco for you, my friend?
So for me, Morocco is my favorite pavilion.
Nice.
It's just like Aladdin. I went and saw Aladdin last night, and visually it is stunning. In Morocco, for me, the pavilion is the exact same way. You have it's got some of the most gorgeous merchandise, and they do hand knotted rugs and carpets, and they have the lamps and jewels and everything, and it's just one of them. It is one of the most gorgeous pavilions to me. Now, ironically, I've never eaten in Morocco, so which is you're going to see
or not.
You're going to see a theme here, but I know the dining there is a big part of what makes people like Morocco so much. For me, though, it's sheer beauty. I think it's just incredible, and the music, Aramenko, the dancers and singers there. That entertainment is some of the best entertainment around the world showcase. It's just an absolutely beautiful country, a pavilion, and the merchandise is incredible there.
Let's quickly before we come to Walt, let's have a look at the chat. Zoe from Wishing Mouse loves Restaurant Marrakesh. Rob, you've never been to Morocco? What? Let's
How's that
see.
possible?
Has Rob been to Epcot?
K Atwood says, heard the tiles were laid by actual Moroccan craftsmen. They left a mistake. When asked why, they said nothing was perfect. That's really interesting. I love that. Captain Okran said, the belly dancing show. Yeah, absolutely. Zoe says, Norway and Morocco are her favorites. Isaac Nail is here. Dave from Brandy and Dave is here. Me and David go back and forth. I call him David. He calls me Daniel. So we go by our full names. It's quite.
He just called me and Walt Stephen and Walter.
Oh, you're funny, my friend. Getty's Journey, welcome back. And Dakina says, I had the kefta sandwich at Morocco a couple of years ago. It was awesome. Now, if you go back to my Disney Food Friday, what I call the Avengers platter. What would you like this? The Avengers. I named it after the Avengers. It's because it's shawarma, essentially. It's shawarma with rice and pita bread and couscous and tzatziki. It's beautiful. Walt, what do you think of Morocco, my friend?
It's funny. Morocco used to be my least favorite pavilion. It is my favorite pavilion now. I agree with Steve 100%. I love this pavilion. It's my favorite pavilion. As we've gone back more and more and more and gotten really into the pavilion, there's so much to see in this pavilion. Now, I'm with Steve. I'm not an eater at this pavilion. Melissa loves the food.
Yeah.
The Tangerine Cafe is one of her favorite places to eat, period, in all of Epcot. She loves it. She wants to try Restaurant Marrakesh and Spice Road Table. Dan, you may have to take her. I'll just tag along and eat something from Yorkshire County and bring it in. But the food, she loves the food. She loves Moroccan type food, and it's just to die for, she says. But I agree with Steve 100%. First off, Restaurant Marrakesh, when you're outside the restaurant, look up. It's supposed to be like a fort. If you ever looked up and actually looked at it, that's what I've heard, and I'm going to look at it again. I heard it's supposed to be look like a fort, which is, I thought, kind of cool. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
I heard something. I think because of the tall tower right in the middle is meant to represent like a watchtower or some sort of I think it's either a watchtower or something religious. I wasn't sure.
Well, look at just the Restaurant Marrakesh building where that is, and look up. You'll see what I'm talking about. But it's such a great pavilion. So many little different alleyways, and you have the marketplace. And Steve's right. The stores are amazing. I want one of those rugs, and I want one of those lamps so bad. Every time we go in there, I tell Melissa, I'm like, I want that lamp and I want that rug, and I'll never get it. But it's a fantastic place. Plus, they have off to the left when you first go into the pavilion that little area that nobody thinks about, which is kind of like I don't know if it's a history of Morocco, but it's almost like a museum in there. They're always quiet. It's a great place to relax and learn a little bit about Moroccan culture, which is kind of cool too.
It's the Gallery of Arts and History.
That's it. Yep. Nobody ever goes in there. If you ever go in there, there might be one other person in there. There's hardly ever anybody in there, and it's really cool. You can learn a lot about the culture. I think it's awesome. I love that pavilion.
When you said the lamp, all I was thinking was almighty cosmic power. Little bit mini space.
Well, I'm talking about now. When I say lamps, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the kind of like tall lamps that they have. That I think they're the coolest looking thing. I don't know. I love that, and the dresses for the ladies are beautiful. Yeah. They're done so well.
It is beautiful. It really
is such a great pavilion. You can meet Aladdin and Jasmine there. I love that. You get lost in that pavilion. I love it.
You know what we should all do, because so many of us are coming down to Walt Disney World around that time. Every single person who's with us should buy a fez and walk around with fezzes.
I'm in.
Like everybody who's with us, no matter if you're young, old, whatever, we should have like a fez party and walk around Epcot with fezzes.
And when we're done with them, we can throw them away and call them a fez dispenser.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, that good? Come on, that was good.
We're gonna rock up to Galaxy's Edge with our fezzes.
I want to get an Abu size fez.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
sorry,
god,
thank you.
this is going. We're going way off topic again.
Yeah, we're off the rails. I'm sorry.
Let's. So for me, the next pavilion, ironically, is my second favorite because my second and third favorite are next to each other, and that is Japan. I love Japan. I think it's visually stunning. It's very open. I love like there's a courtyard-esque kind of place in the middle of this big tower, representing like a temple. You have the Mitsukoshi department store, which I think is one of the best merchandise stores in the whole of Walt Disney World, and the history of the Mitsukoshi department store is amazing. You got Teppan-Edo, which is the
Hibachi.
hibachi or teppanyaki kind of grill, which is a really great restaurant. And you got Tokyo Dining there. If there's also a phenomenally quiet museum. There's a tiny little museum which I think everybody overlooks. It's amazing. You get to see all the Japanese culture in there. You get to try on kimonos. You get to look at some Pokemon and some anime stuff, and you get to try some like really authentic Japanese food. For me, Japan has always been my second favorite. When I mean like, bear in mind, by the way, my number one isn't the UK. I took that out of contention. Japan, I think, is a beautiful pavilion. I think it's just, I feel that sense of openness when I go there. There's so much space. And what I found out was really cool. I don't know if you knew about this, that there was going to be a roller coaster at the back of the Japanese pavilion called the Mount Fuji something run. Like it's meant to be like kind of like you start at the top of Mount Fuji and you like, it's kind of like the Matterhorn. But obviously those plans were scrapped because we don't have that roller coaster. But if you look up the history of Epcot's pavilion with Epcot World Showcase Japanese Pavilion, there was meant to be a Japanese Mount Fuji roller coaster. Not Mount Fuji, Mount Fuji. I'm getting two different things mixed up there. But I think that's pretty cool. I really do quite like. I just love this pavilion. RV into Disney, welcome into the stream. And Isaac Nair says, Japan is so amazing. I love the Japan pavilion. Steve, what about you with Japan?
Yeah, it's another one that's just visually stunning. For everything from as soon as you walk in, you see that pagoda that's there. It's like a replica from the 7th century. It's incredible architecture all the way around. And I actually have eaten somewhere in Japan that makes it feel better. And it wasn't bad food either. It was pretty good. But outside of it's got great, beautifully gardens and everything. But this might be my favorite place to shop. And I want a bonsai tree. I want a monkey puzzle tree. I want all that stuff that's in there. And you start in that back, and when you get into the very back, you can buy sake back there, and you can buy candy. It has the best Japanese candy store in the very back. It's just the shopping there is probably what makes it the best for me. But the thing I like the most in the entire pavilion is the Matsuriza, I think it's called, and it's the drummers.
Yeah,
they come out and bang on those drums up on the pagoda. It's just, I don't know. Those little shows are my favorite thing in each country.
And what I love about those, and not just in Japan, but around the World Showcase in the UK with the band, with the whistle guy in France. There's so many other things that we'll get to. But I love the fact with these shows, there's no Disney. It's all authentic, to their country, right? These are things that you will find in those countries, and there's nothing really Disney about it, which I really like. It's what Epcot was meant to be. It's meant to be a showcase of these countries.
Well, and all the workers, are they not? Your workers is from those countries.
They're all from their own country.
Yep.
Which I think is amazing. I really do think that they, I wouldn't have bought it if an American guy was working in China or France or Italy or wherever. So maybe in the United States it could work, but
no, I don't think so. I think you're right. I think it makes it much more authentic.
Yeah, absolutely.
You mean the US and the US Pavilion? Yeah.
I just want to say thank you to Nick from Magical News Live. Thank you so much, buddy. I hope you had a great time. And yeah, Nick is going to be going live for a secret stream at 8:30. So if you guys want to check out Nick, feel free to check out Nick from Magical News Live, a great power channel of mine. And speaking of power channels, my buddy Corey Meets World is here. Welcome in, buddy. Great to see you. And guys, just I know we keep going on sidetrack, but Corey went to the Edison. And the Edison is on my list of places to go. I've reserved it. I'm looking forward to it. And it looks really nice. I like the whole theming of the Edison. I'm intrigued to try that bacon rack that he had. Oh,
the clothespins.
It looks so good.
Great.
It looks so good. See, this is what you do, Corey. You come in and I start thinking about food and it... Yeah, and you had those pickles. That was so good. All right. Okay. Walt, what do you think of the Japan Pavilion, buddy?
Great pavilion. Again, another one of my favorites. My two boys love it. Whenever we go to Epcot and we go to World Showcase, they say, we're going to the Japan Pavilion. We'll see you in a couple hours. And they just spend hours in the Mitsukoshi store.
Yep.
Katsura Grill is back there. My oldest son loves eating there. They have all those little, like you said, garden areas back there. The store is fantastic. We've eaten at Teppanyaki, whatever you want to call it. It's fantastic. It was my first experience with a hibachi grill was in Disney. It was at Teppanyaki.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I thought the food was fantastic. Even for a picky eater, I absolutely loved the food. This pavilion is wonderful. So many great places. Like you said, the shopping's wonderful. The drummers they're fantastic. So many great photo opportunities too.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what they call that kind of like temple red thing that's out on the water. You can look right through that and you can see Spaceship Earth. That's a great photo op. It's open.
It's one of the most obvious photos. I feel like it's one of those obvious photo ops that I think people have to like.
It really is.
Great.
I mean, the one thing I wish that they had here, and maybe I'm wrong. I wish they had a meet and greet, maybe Baymax. Is Baymax Japan? Is that Japan or would that be China?
It's San Francisco. So it's like San Francisco and Tokyo. So it's kind of like if Japan and San Francisco had like a baby.
Okay. All right.
You can put Baymax between Japan and American Adventure, though.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yes, exactly. But you know what else is really nice about the Japan Pavilion is up on. You have to walk up the steps to get to Tokyo Dining in Teppanyaki.
Yep.
That's a great place to watch illuminations too. Stand up there, go up the steps, go off to the side, and watch it from out there. I've heard really, really great things from people who say watch it from there because first off, you're up and above everybody, and you can look out, and it's right there. Great pavilion. I love that pavilion.
Well, Waltz, you have now told that secret to 25 other people. So if you see all 25 people there, we know why.
I figured, Nick's doing a secret, not so secret stream, and now I'm giving away my secret.
Oh gosh, I love it. Well, yeah, Japan is wonderful. I really love it. But we got to move on. Right, gentlemen, let me have it. We are in the land of the free, the soaring eagle, all the words that describe the United States. I'm going to go last on this one. Steve, the American Adventure, American Pavilion, what do you think? Is it authentic? Is it, what America symbolizes? What is it about? Just word vomit me, American Pavilion.
I love the nostalgia of American Adventure, but I honestly am disappointed in the pavilion itself.
Okay.
I don't think it is large. Don't get me wrong. It's very large, but there's just nothing there except for the massive theater that hosts all the singing and events for the Flower and Garden Food and Wine Festival. That alone makes that pavilion. Now you turn around the other side, you're basically into one building. Half of it's restaurants on either side. You get the Kit Kat. There's a little shop there to shop in. And then you have the theater that plays the same half-hour show every time. That's it. Outside of the entertainment of Voices of Liberty. Voices of Liberty are incredible. They get when you get in that sound room. But for being the home country, the host country, which is I understand why they have the theater, which I am very pleased they do. but there's just I feel like there's a lot missing here. And not that it's not historic, not that it's not nostalgic, it's just plain to me. And they could do a lot more with it, in my opinion.
You know what's really quite what astounds me now. I don't want to offend all my American family here. Whenever I go to America or when I worked in America, I saw everywhere on houses, on buildings, stars and stripes, the flags everywhere. Why isn't that, everywhere in the American Pavilion? Yes, you do have some flags out on the front of the main pavilion, but because I feel like the Americans are so patriotic about their country. You really are. Every sports game, you guys are singing USA, USA. Like, you are so passionate. You guys are the most passionate people about your country I think there is in the world. And that's not saying anything about every other country. But when I feel like the American Pavilion needs to like stand out with just say, this is America, this is us, this is our flags, this is who we are. And I feel like you said, Steve, there needs to be like something to go, yes, like that's who we are.
Well, the other part of it too is all the other countries to me seem modern. This is colonial and historic. And I could be incorrect, and maybe that's just the way it comes off to me, is that everything, and I'm a modern guy, which Walt and I go back and forth all the time, but I feel like there's a lot of modern architecture and a lot of modern theming to a lot of these countries. Now, they are representative of past times, but the workers don't seem historic, though. They seem modern as well. In the American Adventure, they even, if I might be wrong, from what I remember, though, they dress in colonial uniforms and outfits, even, and it just seems dated, and it needs a refurb.
Okay, I can see that, and yeah, look, I love America, and speaking as somebody who's not American, I love America. I just like, bang, like this is it. This is what I love to see. So, and Walt, I want to hear what you think.
This is tough for me because I'm going to get serious for a second. I agree with Steve 100%. It's a horrendous representation, in my opinion, of this country. You have people from all over the world that are coming to the United States and coming to Epcot. What a better place to showcase what we're about. You talk about it. All these other countries, they showcase their culture, what they're about, some of the things, some of their architecture, things of that nature, talking about like the Morocco Pavilion and things like that. We don't have any of that in our pavilion. I think, and I don't mean no disrespect to anybody, but I think that our pavilion should be one that stands out the most because it is the home pavilion. And yet it's the least cared for, in my opinion, when it comes to theming. There's nothing there. There's no table restaurant. There's just one little quick service place, which is fine. Voices of Liberty is fantastic.
Yeah.
The American Adventure is fantastic. But other than that, there's nothing to this pavilion. If you didn't have, most people just skip it. Move on. Especially if you've seen Voices of Liberty or the American Adventure more than twice. You're like, well, I've already seen it. You're going to move on. There's nothing else there that entices that you can see. There's nothing to the pavilion. There's no alleyways or anything to go back into like you get at Morocco or you get at the UK Pavilion. Yep. Or there's nothing to go into like you get at the Mexico Pavilion. It's such a terrible representation. There's so many different things they could have chose to put there to make it a better representation for this country. And it really falls flat. And it's kind of sad because I think it doesn't look good for the home country, in my opinion.
Well, speaking as somebody who's not part of your country, I feel like, we come to the United States, we come into your country and experience your culture and experience, especially Orlando, where it's very much, the theme park capital of the world. And, we go to Magic Kingdom, we have the Hall of Presidents, which, we're not going to get into politics. Say what you say. It's a great representation of your history and your history of your presidents and a history of, your beginnings. I think the Hall of Presidents on the surface is very, very good. You have American restaurants. You have all around the world, all around Walt Disney World. And when you come to Epcot, I feel like I think that you're right. I think there needs to be some sort of update. I look, there is NASA down the road, right? NASA is one of your one of the biggest things in America right now. NASA, everyone knows what NASA is. We know it's American. Why don't you just put a shuttle at the back of the pavilion?
They could do. They have so many different things. We talk about Mount Rushmore. You could do something with Mount Rushmore. You could do Washington D.C.
I would love to see a mini Mount Rushmore behind the American Pavilion. I would love to see a ton of
different things.
I would love to see like a Golden Gate Bridge kind of scenery in the background. That would have been amazing.
An Empire State Building, or they could do so many different things. Kay Atwood said this in here. She says, and let me go back to what Rivas. She goes, there's a Native American display, but no one goes to see it. Yeah, because they don't display it well. I didn't even know it was there.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
It's a shame. I want to have fun with this stream, but it could be such a better pavilion.
But if the American Gardens Theater wasn't there, people would not stay there. I'll be honest.
True.
Right.
It's true.
Just want to quickly say welcome to BR Fam TV. Smash, smash, smash. I love BR Fam TV. They're so awesome. They're on the West Coast. Welcome, Pamela Hoffman. Pamela Hoffman says, when Epcot was being built, the American Pavilion was going to be built between Future World and the World Showcase. Fun fact. I did not know that. You know what? I feel like there needs to... This is my plan, right? I would love to see some like representation of pretty much all the states. And you can do that through food, through merchandise, through architecture, through so much stuff. Like, I would love to have like a mini counter of Chicago versus New York pizza. I would love that. I thought that would be, because that is, that is authentic American food. I'd love to see like a hot dog stand, or I'd love to see like small things that you could just throw into the pavilion that make it more American. And I think it would a Philly cheesesteak. You can have some sort of New England clam chowder. You can have
Maryland crab.
Right. Like just so much you can think of to add to it. And I think you're right. And it's a shame because look, although I'm British, I love America and I want to see more. And who knows? Maybe Disney should hire all three of us and we'll fix America. The American Pavilion. There we go.
Right. And Jelly says here, it says the American Pavilion is a little bit higher than the rest, and it's specifically in the center because it's the host.
Yeah.
Fine. I get all that. That's all fine, and I get it. And as you're coming in to the World Showcase, if you look straight ahead, that's who you see first. I get it. I just think they could do more with the pavilion. Those are all subtle little things they've done, but they need to do more things that are more in your face type, not just subtle things.
It's such a large space, and they have a lot they could do there, and they just don't.
Yeah, that's all. I love the. I love the pavilion. I love the country so much. That's why I want it to be better. That's all.
Even now that the great movie ride is gone, why don't you do something to do with Hollywood? Put something Hollywood-esque there. That would be amazing.
You could do a lot there, and definitely they could add a ride there without any problems and make it great.
Yeah,
you could do a ride just touring around the monuments of the country. Like you're talking about the Grand Canyon, the Statue of Liberty, all those. You could there could be anything there. Mount Rushmore, it'd be fun.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. As we are slowly coming to we're actually only halfway. And I feel like this will need to be split into two parts. So at some point, I think we would do part 2 another time because Steve and Walt will be doing sports night at 8:30, 8:30, so in about 25 minutes. So what I'm going to do is we're going to stop here, but we're not done. We are not done. This is going to be halfway. We may continue either next week or in the next couple of weeks. We'll come back and do Italy, Germany, Norway, China, and Mexico. I think this is a good idea because you know what? There's so much stuff here. And I think we can split this into 2 parts. Now, but before we start wrapping things up, I wanted to talk about the future of Epcot. We may talk about this at the end when we do the other half, but I want you to think of maybe we're gonna do my favorite game. We're gonna play Armchair Imagineer. It's a concept I've taken from Lou from WDW Radio. So hopefully Lou doesn't watch this, but Sorry, I took this from you. We're going to play Armchair Imagine It. I want you to think of maybe one or a few countries, and I just want you to pitch me the idea. What would you like to see? What country would you like to see? Tell me why. What features would it have there? Just where would you like it to fit in the World Showcase? And yeah, that's what game we're going to play. Do you need some time? Do you want me to go first, or have you got any in mind?
I already know mine.
Right, Steve, do you want to fire ahead? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I've got two that I really think that are really. I mean, I'm going to skip one of the obvious ones, but one of them that apparently is rumored to be the next country to be added is Brazil. I think it's just a great country that's already represented so well without having its own pavilion that I think they could do a lot with it. And in the gorgeous, you can get the statue from Rio de Janeiro. There's just so much you could do there. You could even add an element that's not in Epcot and add animals to it with some kind of bird display and everything from Brazil. And it would be fantastic. There is rumor that it's going to be going between Italy and what's on the other side, Italy, Germany.
Yep.
So there is rumor that there's going to go there, but that would be a good one. The other one I think would be a fantastic one to do. And it's just such a gorgeous country, and that's New Zealand. And the reason why I say that is New Zealand is where everything is filmed because of its natural beauty and because
they could do Lord of the Rings.
I was going to say you could do like a Hobbit adventure.
Yeah. You could do, it could be Lord of the Rings themed. I wouldn't care. But I think New Zealand, though, it has a rich history. It's gorgeous countryside, and it's just I think they could do a lot with it. Now it might be simplistic to some people, but I think you could do a lot with its natural beauty there. And then of course Scotland for Dougie. So we'll just leave it there.
Well, that's the interesting one because technically Scotland is part of the UK Pavilion, but I think Dougie might argue with that. But yeah, look, Scotland is part of the UK Pavilion, but not a lot of it. Not a lot of it is shown. It's not represented that much. You kind of need like a guy to stand on the stage with bagpipes and eating haggis. That's kind of what you need to represent Scotland. So, and I know Dougie's going to rewatch this, so hi, Dougie. But yeah, I'm sure, I would like to see more Scotland represent and more of like the other UK countries like Wales. I'd love to see Wales be more represented. Ireland, definitely for sure, be more represented. So yeah, those are great choices, Steve. I really like those. Very, very different picks and ones that, there is a possibility to see. So yeah, really great choice. Walt, have you got any in mind?
Well, this is kind of hard for me. I'm kind of going just off the top of my head, but I would like to see maybe a Greece pavilion. I love the architecture for Greece.
That's what I wrote. Greece.
I do. I really love the architecture of Greece. There's a lot of history there. Obviously, they could play off the whole mythology of the gods and the Greek games and things like that. It's such a beautiful area. I think Greece would be in Greece food. They have the Greece. I can't think of the word.
Gyro.
They have the kiosk. Yep. So they could do that. I think the Greece pavilion would be a great pavilion. They could do a lot with. I'd also like to see another African pavilion. And what I mean by that is something like Madagascar, something that's not, Morocco's in Africa. I get it. But I want something a little bit more. I don't even know how to word it, but something like Madagascar where they could really incorporate the animals and things like that.
Kind of like upgrade that kind of African section to a full-on pavilion.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a full-on pavilion like that with that same type aesthetic where we can get a ride or something. I almost wish that Madagascar was a Disney IP because it would be great to be a pavilion. They could put them in there and put a ride in there. Oh, man, it could be fantastic. Also, they need to put an Aladdin ride at the Morocco Pavilion. It could be like a magic carpet ride, a simulator.
Not like the carpet ride we already have in the Magic Kingdom, though.
No, like a real simulator ride. Almost like Flight of Passage, but you're on a
magic carpet.
You're on a carpet instead. That would be really cool.
I just want to say, Disney, if you're watching, I have a degree in ancient history, especially Greek. history. So if you want to hire me to design the Greek pavilion, please just message me on Twitter.
Incorrect spaceship Earth.
No, don't. Just let us
Yes.
thank the Phoenicians. Where you?
Look, Walt, I completely. Firstly, I love that African idea. I think Africa is sorely mistreated in this World Showcase, and I feel like there needs to be some sort of African presence, like a proper African presence. And Greece, look, I would love to see like almost like the Acropolis
Yes.
on top of a
Oh, yeah.
massive hill where you would have to climb like quite a few stairs or take kind of like a lift if you're in a wheelchair or if you have trouble climbing stairs. And right at the top you see Hercules and Meg. Not Meg from Mickey's Magic, but Meg might be there.
Well,
But
Meg would be there, yeah.
Meg probably would be there. You would see Megara and Hercules and Hades right at the top on Mount Olympus, and you get a meet and greet with them. You'll come down to the surface. You'll be able to have gyro and just amazing Greek food like hummus and pita bread and what?
Yeah,
Why isn't this there? Yeah, I think Hercules would be. I think Greece just in general would be wonderful. I had a couple on my list. I would love to see Egypt.
Oh yes.
I would love to see just a massive pyramid in the
Sphinx.
background with a sphinx with like a doorway, and you can go through the doorway and you can see mummies and you can learn about the pharaohs and just it'd be so cool. You could.
Well, you talk about a good 360 circle vision. They could do it on the mummies. Oh yeah, and the pharaohs. Absolutely,
just so cool. I think that'll be amazing.
Or they could have a ride, a water ride that's like the Nile.
Oh yeah,
They could have a dark ride that's like you're going through Egypt on the Nile. That'd
be so cool. A couple else on my list. I had Russia. I think Russia would be pretty cool with the cathedral and the Saint Peter's, the Kremlin and Saint Peter's Square, is it called? Or
St. Peter's Square. Yeah,
St. Peter's Square. Oh, that would be just in terms of the architecture, that would be amazing. And they would have to like find a way to lower the temperature to like minus
Siberia.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I would love to see like a country that has a massive involvement with the world, that in a good way, a massive involvement in the world that would be quite impressive. I would like to see a country like Spain or something like Israel, where they do a lot for the world, that maybe there's a lot of cultural behind both of these countries, a lot of history behind both of these countries, and just show it to the world. Because we have things like the UK and Italy, all these famous countries. I'd love to see like a more underrated country to come in and really show us our culture, like Morocco. Morocco is a country, quite a small-ish country. I'd like to see maybe a Spain or an Israel or a Thailand or a Vietnam or something like that, or Cambodia or something maybe like that. That's where my thoughts went. So D Hazel, welcome into the stream. Great to see you, fellow UK member here. But those were some of my picks. I thought that would be kind of interesting. So like I said, guys, this is part 1. We are going to be doing part 2 some point in the next couple of weeks. So we did Canada, the UK, France, Morocco, Japan, and the USA. We are halfway, or over halfway, and hopefully we will get to the rest, I'm sure, in the next couple of weeks. But thank you so much for watching. In about 15 minutes time, we are going to jump over to these two gentlemen right here, Walt and Steve, for Sports Night. It's going to be super exciting, and we cannot wait for that. Guys, also, again, I just want to say thank you again for last week. Last week was one of the best days of my YouTube career. I loved it so much. 3 hours of Disney Fiasco to celebrate my 1 year anniversary of the show. It was so wonderful, and I couldn't be any more grateful to every single one of you. So thank you so much. I want to say some thank yous to the chat. RobFuz, my partner channel, my buddy. Thank you so much, pal, for everything that you do for this community and for my channel. Donna Anderson Folan, thank you so much for joining. LSU Mom, D Hazel, Zoe from Wishing Mouse, great to see you back. It's great to see you in the stream. RV into Disney, Kate Atwood, Holly Hampton, Donna Jaworski was here, Magical News Live was here, Pamela Hoffman, Jack Twaddle, Brandy and David. Let's see who else. Stacy Rogers, Donna Jaworski, Corey Meets World, Isaac Nail, Zippity Doodad, Disney Nerd Herders, and some other Amanda from the Lucky Minute. Thank you so much, everybody. R. Johns, thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. My Disney Parks memory, thank you so much. Firstly, I would like to thank my partner channels, RobFuz, Mickey's Magic, and Corey Fiasco. Thank you so much, guys. Please go check out those channels. And my other partner channel who has joined us here today, Walt from Mouse Talk. Walt and Melissa have a wonderful channel called Mouse Talk. And I've been like your tech guy for the last couple of days. It's been pretty cool. So
I don't know anything about tech.
So I've been your tech guy.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't checked out Mouse Talk's channel, congratulations on 1.4K, and 1.5. We're going on Terra with Walt, and I can't wait. I'm already going on Splash Mountain with Melissa. I need to go on Terra with Walt. It's gonna be great.
He's only 92 away.
Suffer.
He's only 92 away, so.
Only 92.
What did we do to this community? Everybody wants to see us suffer.
What's the Disney Dan challenge? Kate Atwood started the Disney Dan challenge. Kate Atwood, explain to everybody in the chat what the Disney Dan challenge is, because you made up the Disney Dan challenge. But thank you again, Mouse Talk, Walt. It's always fun having you here. And guys, head over to Walt's channel straight after this for Sports Night at 8:30 Eastern. Steve, dude, congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. I am just, it's awesome having you now in the 1,000 club. Thoroughly deserved, my friend. Guys, Steve's Waz channel is just wonderful. Great live streams, great unboxings. Just we have a great time on Steve's channel, and we're gonna have a lot of fun, us three in Walt Disney World. But Steve, thank you so much for joining us as well.
Oh, thank you, buddy. Like I said, I couldn't do it without people like you and RobFuz. I actually just thought I want to get Rob one of those little fezzes too, so we can name him Rob Fez. But I think that's a Walt joke in case anybody missed it. So, but no, I couldn't thank you guys enough. I remember the first time I was on Disney Fiasco. It was like a complete honor, and it still is to this day. I've been on 4 or 5 times now, I think. So it's been phenomenal every time. And Dan, I just could not thank you enough, and just cannot wait for August. Thank you so much.
You're absolutely welcome, my friend. And August, we're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna have bread service. We're gonna have Scotch eggs.
I'm gonna try a lot. I'm gonna take your word for it. I'll try whatever we need to try.
That'll be great. Thank you so much, guys. So that was part 1 of our walk around the World Showcase. Meg will be back next week, so she'll join us as well. So hopefully we can actually pick this up next week if you guys would be interested. If not, we can leave it a couple of weeks. And in terms of watch hours, guys, after this stream, we should be at 3,000 hours.
Nice.
So we've got 1,000 hours left to go. Let's completely power this. Let's get this 1,000 hours smashed out of the park. Let's get it done. We did so well. I couldn't be any more grateful to every single one of you who've helped me with my watch hours. We are 1,000 hours to go. We are almost there, and I really do appreciate it. Guys, you are so awesome, and I couldn't have done this without each and every one of you. Thank you again for last week. And guys, after this, head over to Mouse Talk's channel in 10 minutes. Have a break, get a drink, have a snack, obviously, because it's me. Have a snack on me, and we'll have a great night on Sports Night. You can follow all of us on Twitter and on Instagram at all our names. So Disney Dan, Mouse Talk, and Steve's World. Guys, you can also check out my merch on Spreadshirt. So if you, I've put a brand new design on Spreadshirt. So if you're interested, please check out the designs. And we do ship internationally. Yes, it is a UK store, but we do ship internationally. I'm not allowed to set up a American store because I'm not an American citizen, but my t-shirts do ship to the United States. So if you are interested and you want to help out the channel, please feel free to have a look at my merchandise over on spreadshirt.co.uk/DizzyDan. The links are in the description box down below. So if you want, just have a look. Just check it out. You don't have to buy anything. Just have a look and see if you're interested. How do you translate £13? £13 is around $15, I think. $15-16. So I feel it's quite reasonable, but it's up to you guys. It's any way to support the channel. But thank you so much, guys. We are friends, whether we've met yet or not, and you guys mean the absolute world to me. Thank you so much. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel before you leave, and live your life with a smile each and every day. And I'll see you guys all real soon. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.